What's up, online growthers? Welcome to today's episode. As usual, I am your host, Dick Polipnick, and in today's episode, we will be doing a book review and a summary of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. All right, guys, so let's dive right into it. One of my favorite books, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Why is this listed? I think it's like number 2 on my top 100 books to read list on onlinegrowthsystems.com. Why is this number 2? Let me tell you why. Because anybody who wants to change their life and get into the realm and the desires and the life that they want to get from point A to point B, this is the first stepping stone to get there. I find myself, I reread this book once every year. Every single year of my life, I reread this book, and I read a lot of books, and this is the only book that I reread. Why do I reread it? Let's dive into some of the content. Okay, Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. He talks about how, let's actually go through the contents. I like to do that because it's a good summary. Okay. He talks about introduction of his Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I know there's too many reviews out there talking about the premise. I'm sure you all know the premise. You all know about his Rich Dad and his Poor Dad. One was his biological dad, one was his father figure, right? Whatever. Blah, 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 blah. One was a businessman. Anyway. Okay. The Rich, chapter 1, lesson number 1. The rich don't work for money. What he talks about is too many people are trading dollars for hours. Or hours for dollars. If you're getting a salary based per hour, you're not going to get wealthy unless you are like an actor or an actress and you get paid $1 million for 10 lines in a movie. Matt Damon. But most of us are not in that boat. And if you are, you're not watching this video. So frankly, I don't care. So what he's talking about is you need to get paid on effort and you need to get paid on results. People who are results paid are incentivized. Charlie Munger right there, see, 24 cognitive biases, check them out. People who are paid on results typically get better results, therefore get more money, build more wealth, get the lifestyle they want. So if you're a car salesman, get off the salary, get paid on commission. If you are any kind of if you're a customer service representative, see if you can negotiate and say, for every successful customer service call I have, consider that this many dollars worth of commission, right, towards the client, retaining the client. For every negative client that I lose, I don't get paid for it. If I spent an hour on the phone and I lost the client, don't pay me for that hour. Results-driven salary. Or not salary at all. Okay, look at this. Number 1 personal finance book of all time, bestseller. There's a reason for that. Let's go into the next part. I lost the page there. Chapter 2, lesson 2. Why teach financial literacy? He talks about how education institutions, the public school system, the college schools, even freaking kindergarten, they should all be teaching about money. Yeah, money's not important. Happiness is more important. Yeah, I agree with you. Happiness is number 1. But it's a lot easier to be happy if you can afford rent at the end of the month. If you can afford to put food on the table. If you can afford to buy that new jet ski that you want, to go on that vacation, to pay for your kids' college tuition. Ask a rich person if they're happier before or after they got rich, and 9 times out of 10, they're going to say, I was happier when I could afford the jet ski, right? Why? Because it's more fun. You have more freedom. Why? What about that doesn't sound happy and exciting to you? And I agree. Happiness should come first. And then wealth will come second. Once you're happy, the money will come. I mean, that's a secondary goal for you. It should be happiness first. You should be happy with $0 in the bank account, a negative 1,000, or $1 million, right? That's not what we're talking about. What Robert is talking about is financial institutions are missing the boat on something that is key to success in life. If your education should help you to build the life that you want and be successful, you need to be teaching people how to handle money. Not just something as simple as I'm filming at the local bank right now because I have a good relationship with them and it's a cool set, right? People don't know how to open a savings account. People don't know how to open a savings account. How do you think they're going to save their way to retirement if they don't know how to open a savings account? It mind boggles me, and it mind boggles people who are in the Rich Dad Poor Dad community. Robert Kiyosaki, he's well on his way to a billionaire, and I agree with him. There should be a class in school dedicated to financial, and not just like freaking Dave Ramsey. Okay, I'm talking about real how to get a loan. What should you finance? Should you finance your car? Should you finance a house? Should you rent? Should you buy, etc.? Should you go to college? College isn't right for everybody. There should be a class teaching you on how to advance on your career. And so that's what he talks about is financial literacy and how you missed the boat. You probably didn't get taught it because your parents don't know it and the education system doesn't know it. So you have to do it, read books, watch videos, and that's how you build your own your education. Chapter 3, Lesson 3, blow your mind and mind your own business. So what he's talking about is summary of this chapter. Mind your own business is he really talks about paying yourself first because a lot of people don't know what business they're in and they forget that they are not their business. They are separate. You need to separate you from your business. Yes, I have branding in my business, online growth systems with Dick Polipnick. All my social media is tagged with Dick Polipnick, but that's not my business. My brand is not my business. My brand supports my business. So I am not monetizing my name because someday if I ever wanted to sell my business, I can't sell my name, right? I want to keep that for myself in case I start another business, right? So you need to separate yourself and you need to pay yourself separately. You can't just have the same bank account for your business and for your personal finance. You can't do it. Unless you want to be small and you want to be a freelancer and you never want to build wealth and retire early. I mean, if you want a small-time operation, go for it. But this show, Online Growth Systems, these book reviews, they're not for those people. We are above average people, right? Growth, right? Enemy. The word average and mediocre makes me want to throw up, right? Okay, so you need to have a mindset that you need to be separate. You need to pay yourself outside of the business and invest in the business. Invest in yourself and invest in the business. Those are two different things, okay? Next, Chapter 4. Lesson 4, the history of taxes and the power of corporations. He talks about how the middle class is getting screwed. You guys are paying the most in taxes. You're making you're making mediocre pay, and you're paying the highest taxes. The people who are making the most money, the point is to keep the most money. If I say I had $1 billion in sales this year with online growth systems, well, holy crap, man, you must be rich. And I say, yeah, but we had $999,999,999 of expenses, and I only made a freaking dollar or a penny, whatever. You're not going to be rich. You're going to be working your brains out for nothing, right? You're not going to advance and become wealthy and retire, right? You need to get taxed less. And I'm not talking about evading taxes. That is a big no-no. We are not advocating that, and neither is Rich Dad Poor Dad. Neither is Robert Kiyosaki. What we are advocating is being smart about what you do with your money. What you can get tax breaks when you give someone a new job, right? That's a good thing. That's helping the economy. By giving more people jobs, you're helping the economy. You're giving more people salary. You're paying for people's lives, right? You're putting food on the table for other people other than yourself. And then the government, thank God, if you're living in a government, in a society, a capitalist economy, they reward you for that. And they say, hey, thanks for paying for another person's salary and livelihood and for their kids' tuition and putting food on the table. Here's a tax break because your taxes would have gone towards creating job creation anyway. You're just doing it yourself, right? So that's what we're talking about, is you have to be smart. Oh, dang it, I lost the page again. Okay. Chapter 5, the rich invent money. What is he meaning by this? They don't find money sitting on the street. He's not talking about, you're not going to get rich winning the lottery. And if you are that one out of a billion people, you're going to lose it right away. I mean, you look at NFL players who lose their millions of dollars 2 years into retirement, right? You need to invent your money. You need to create a market for yourself. You need to find the value first. I always talk about giving content first, value first, and the monetary, the finances to you will follow back. That's why all my social media clients, I talk about, we need to give out free value. Out of 100 posts on social media, 90 of them will be giving value to people, giving them what they want without charging them for it. And then maybe 5 of those 100 will be like promoting, not-for-profit stuff, whatever, featuring a customer or whatever, right? Building a community. And then once in a while, you put out that ask, right? Gary Vaynerchuk talks about jab, 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 right hook, right? Free value, free value, free value. Boom, ask for the sale. Boom, you know what I mean? Start making money, right? So that's what he talks about, the rich invent money. You need to find an industry that you're good at, and that's just general sales. So we talk about that all the time. Chapter 6, lesson 6, work to learn, don't work for money. Okay, this talks about a common topic here on the show is failure doesn't always mean that you lose money. In my opinion, a failure is only failure if you choose to learn nothing. Okay, if you choose to get nothing out of it. Now, you can get something out of it and lose money, right? You don't always have to get profit out of it. You can get experience, knowledge, assets for your mind to apply in future business decisions. When I invested in a stock a couple of weeks ago, I invested in this stock because it was going way down, and I was like, and then it flatlined, and it started going up a little bit. It's a common strategy. Once it starts to scale up, you're like, boom, buy there, and then ride the wave up a little bit and sell after a little bit. I didn't do my research enough, and I found out a couple of weeks later that this business, or this company, this stock, split. It it did a reverse split, and it combined, for every thousand stocks you owned, you got combined into one mega stock, right? It's a reverse split, and I didn't own enough stock. I didn't own 1,000 of the shares. So what happened to my 200 shares? Gone. Lost the money. So what? I could have gone, holy shit, I just lost hundreds of dollars on that stock trade. But instead, what I did is I said, hey, I was a fool on that decision. I should have, as much as I preach about looking at the numbers, I need to look a little deeper from now on, especially when I'm dealing with penny stocks, which that one was, if it's like below $10, it's pretty much considered a penny stock. And you need to look into it a little more. I learned that. To me, that $200 that I learned, $200, that's a small portion of my stock portfolio, right? But somebody could have said, man, $200, that's how many hours of work, that's how many clients worth of time that I lost, poof, right? And I think, hey, when I went to the University of St. Thomas, I paid $5,000 for a class. I just learned something that I can use for the rest of my life, and it only cost me $200. That's a cheap class. That's a cheap life lesson, right? That's why books are such a good deal, because you can learn things from a book. What do classes do? They freaking go through one textbook, and you pay $5,000 to go through the textbook and have somebody hold your hand through it, right? Why don't you just buy the $100 textbook in that class and do it yourself? Spend $100 instead of $5,000, right? Self-education, we talk about that all the time. So that's why books are such a good deal. So as always, I'm going to quit there. There's like 6 more chapters, but this is long enough video. So Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. Check it out in the link below. I'll put a link to Amazon so you can purchase it if you want. Highly recommend the read. We usually put notes in the description below, so check those out. And as always, thanks for watching. See you guys next time.
I come from a town where most of the people are so close-minded. They go into school and they work in a job, but they don't even like it. I won't be put in a box. Nobody telling me what I should rock. Nobody telling me what I should drop. Cause I do what I want and just know I don't stop. Recording till 4 in the morning, they snoring. I'm pouring my soul into every story. I'm writing, producing, I mix it, I master. I'm building my craft and I'm not looking back. I've been going doing things I want to do when I want to.